What's the best tobacco you ever smoked, Jim?
That's easy. Kentucky Club.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Parks Johnson with my sidekick, Wally Butterwhite, opening up another Vox Pop program. And here's Wally. How about setting the stage for us, Wally?
What a stage. Tonight, for the first time in its history, Vox Pop comes to you from Hollywood, California. We're broadcasting direct from the soundstage number 14 at the Paramount Studios, where the final scenes were recently shot on Booth Tarkington's classic story, 17, starring Jackie Cooper and Betty Field. Every week, Vox Pop brings you typical Americans from all walks of life. And for tonight's broadcast, we've traveled 3,000 miles to bring you not one, but 17 typical Americans. And hold your breath, folks, they're all gorgeous girls. They're the winners of 17 different contests in 17 great American cities. And each of these girls is 17 years old. They've taken Hollywood by storm, and they're a swell bunch. Also with us is the star of the picture 17, that great screen performer, Jackie Cooper. Vox Pop, you know, is dedicated to the grand and glorious order of pipe smokers and brought to you every Thursday evening in honor of Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco, the all-white burley blend, and Julep cigarettes, the new exciting mid-cooled cigarette frosted to give your throat a thrill. Come on, Park. Let's go.
Yes, sir, Wally. Folks, before I interview this first group of beautiful girls, you know that we've traveled 3,000 miles to find some typical girls for you. You know, we've been bringing you a typical this, that, or the other every week. Well, we're really loaded down with typical girls of 17 years old tonight, and we're going to see what they think and what they feel. Let's let this first group of three introduce themselves. Your name?
Levon Moyer from Omaha, Nebraska.
And you?
Suzanne Thompson, Chicago.
And you?
Pat McGuire from Denver, Colorado.
All right, now that's the first group of three. I'm going to ask you, Levon Moyer of Omaha, do you think that a 17-year-old girl is more grown up than a 17-year-old boy?
Yes, indeed.
Why? Come a little closer and get it loud. I want them to hear you in Omaha.
I don't know why, but...
Have you found it that way?
Yes, I have.
Do you think that they're sillier than the girls?
No, not sillier.
Well, in what way?
Well, they try to act grown up, I guess, and
not?
don't quite know how.
Well, we'll dig into that a little bit. Suzanne Thompson of Chicago. If a 17-year-old girl walks down the street dressed up like $1 million, does she feel slighted if the boys don't turn around for a second look?
I do.
Well, lady, you don't mind then if we do turn around for a second look.
No.
Not a bit. How about Pat McGuire of Denver? In the picture, well, we'll get into the picture a little bit later. Do you think that modern parents know anything about raising children? Rearing, I should say.
Sometimes.
Sometimes? You're, of course, accepting your own parents, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Let's let these girls get in on some dollar questions around you. How'd you like it, all right? I'm going to ask a question, and the first one of you girls that gets the correct answer gets a dollar bill, and here are these brand new dollar bills. All right, listen. What animal am I suggesting when I say, bah, that's easy?
A sheep.
Which one was first?
$3 to you.
No, $2. Suzanne didn't get in on
No,
that. All right, what animal am I suggesting to you when I say, suey?
Pig.
Here it is. Pat McGuire of Denver gets $1 on that. What animal am I suggesting to you when I say flop it?
Bird.
Bird? Goose?
What's the word again?
Flop it. Listen, you girls were at the preview last night of the picture 17 with us.
A car?
And don't you remember Lola, the girl in the picture? Her little dog was flop it. I can't give you $1 on that. All right, here. What other animal beside a dog do you call by whistling to him?
A bird.
Well, I think that's right. I thought maybe you were going to say the boyfriend. You do whistle to that. That was Suzanne Thompson of Chicago. Okay, now one thing here that I want all the girls who are going to be on the air to listen to for a moment. Because at any time any of you girls get the answer to this question, break right into whatever's going on and give us the answer, and you got a $5 bill coming to you. That's an extra one, don't you see? The question is this. What is the 8-letter word beginning with L and ending with K suggests the picture 17 to you, the theme of it, the idea of it? Now then, just think about it, and the first one of you that gets that, come up and break into what's going on. Give me that stuff here. Huh? Here's some tins of Kentucky Club, girls, and some packages of Julep cigarettes. Take them home to the folks. I know they'll enjoy them, and thank you very much. And while they bring along 3 more beauties, will you?
You bet your Parks. Here they are right here. Come on, you lovely little girls. Get up here and tell us who you are.
Hayes Lawrence from Birmingham, Alabama.
What do? You in school?
I'm in school.
And?
I'm Pam Merriman from Des Moines. I'm a senior in high school. Mary Jean Davis from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a junior in high school.
Well, it's good indeed to be with you. Lovely girls. Have you had a good time? Where have you been?
Oh, we've had a wonderful time. We've just been at every place.
Uh-huh. Well, now, you're 17. You know, there's an old saying about a girl sweet 16 and never been kissed. Can you three girls look me in the eye and say that condition applies right now?
No.
You can't,
Don't
Miss
say
Murray.
it's rather embarrassing.
Huh? No, not at all. I just wanted to see about the... now, you know, the boys and everybody's listening back home. You girls were certainly very charming and fresh and lovely in your evening clothes at the preview last night, your evening gowns. And Jackie Cooper, your escort all over town. I want to ask you this. Is there any young man, either in Des Moines, Birmingham, or Minneapolis, who would like to take a poke at Jackie Cooper, do you think? Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Not from Des Moines?
Not from Birmingham.
No. All right. How would you like to see Jackie make a personal appearance in your town?
Oh, I'd love it. We'd like it.
I'll
Thank you very much.
All right, I want you girls to get some dollar questions here now. The first one answers, of course, gets the dollar. Mm-hmm. What is the outstanding characteristic of a new broom?
Being
Huh?
Being stiff?
No. The outstanding characteristic of a new broom. It's an old quotation.
I never heard of it.
Jackie, do you know it? I'll give you the dollar. What is it? Sweet sleep. Give him the dollar for it. All right, now sharpen up here, girls. Get right into this. What two types of crow do you find in a cornfield? Des Moines, you want to know that.
Scarecrow and black corn.
Well, I'll give you a $50 piece. All right, here you are. Here's the dollar.
Birmingham.
Des Moines and Birmingham.
Oh, no.
No, Birmingham and Minneapolis. I beg your pardon. All right. What would you say for what reason is Pinocchio a competitor of Jimmy Durante?
No.
Nose is right. To Mary Bather of Minneapolis. What branch of study do you think Willie Baxter in the picture 17 needs to brush up on?
Literature. English.
English is grammar. It's all right. You're doing very well, Miss Minneapolis. Girls, I want you to take these 3 tins of Kentucky Club tobacco and the 3 packages of julep cigarettes home and give them to the folks, will you?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Parks.
Wally, you saw Paramount's great picture, Gulliver's Travels, didn't you?
You bet I did.
Well, tell me, in the picture, after Gulliver survived the rough treatment of the Lilliputians and made friends with them, what's the first thing he did?
Oh, that's easy, Parks. What do you and I do at the end of a tough day? We light up a pipe, and that's just what Gulliver did. He went out and he lay down on a cliff and started peacefully smoking his pipe.
That's right, Wally, he did.
Parks, and if Gulliver were alive today, he'd fill that pipe with good old Kentucky Club tobacco. Yes, sir, men. When you want the greatest contentment and smoking pleasure out of your pipe, smoke Kentucky Club tobacco blended by Willoughby Taylor. It's the only tobacco blended of 3 mild, all-white burleys. That's why Kentucky Club doesn't burn your mouth, bite your tongue, or irritate the delicate membranes of your nose and throat. It has a mildness and coolness all its own that's converted thousands of pipe smokers from brands they've smoked all their lives. Best of all, men, the delicious flavor of Kentucky Club not only makes a big hit with you, but the ladies love its wonderful aroma around the house. So take a tip from good old Gulliver. Reach for your pipe and take a tip from Parks and me. Stop smoking harsh, old-fashioned tobaccos. Sweeten your pipe with Kentucky Club, the modern blend. It makes any pipe taste twice as good. So get your handsome blue tin tonight. All right, Parks?
Yes, sir, Wally. 3 more of the girls. And girls, any of you thought of that 8-letter word that describes Willie Baxter, the hero of this play? Nobody yet? All right, we have 3 more. You are...
Adeline Pilkington of Detroit, Michigan. Peggy Webb of Nashville, Tennessee. Betty Jean McCord of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And 3 more beautiful girls I never saw, unless it was the 3 I had up here just a moment ago. Tell me, Peggy Webb of Nashville, are your initials carved on any tree anywhere?
I hope so.
Down there in Nashville, that's something about... They do that, do they?
Well...
It's sort of typical of that section, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, now tell me, what is your batting average, Peggy, on blind dates?
Oh.
Did you ever have a blind date?
Yes, I have.
Well, what's your batting average? Did you draw pretty lucky, or was he tall, dark, and handsome, or what?
I'd say it's rather average.
Right about average, huh? Betty McCord of Pittsburgh, would you like to stay 17 all your life?
I certainly would like to say 17 all my life.
Why?
If I could always have the time that I'm having now at 17.
Oh, good. I don't blame you. Of course, now, if you feel that way about it, I doubt if you can tell me this, but what is the biggest fault that you find with boys?
Oh,
Yeah, some outstanding fault that boys have.
well, I know some boys that, to me, they don't have any faults.
Oh, is that so? Well, I won't go any more into that. We'll just let it rest. Adeline Pilkington of Detroit. What's your pet name for your boyfriend? Do you mind telling us?
Oh.
I'd like to know what a 17-year-old girl calls her boyfriend.
Well, the usual one is Darling.
Oh, you call him darling. Well, that's what they call him in the picture, isn't it? Well, what good things can you say about your boyfriends? I asked for a bad thing over here. What good things can you say about boys?
Well, they're considerate.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Boys, listen. You've got it. All right, we won't put you on the spot any further on that. We'll get right into these dollar bills here. The first girl that answers the question gets the dollar bill. Who wrote the book 17?
Who's talking to you?
I'm out $3. Each one of you. There you are. Into which side of a shiny new silver spoon would you look to see yourself upside down?
Inside.
Inside?
Outside.
Outside?
Inside, outside.
Who said inside?
I did.
Miss Pilkington of Detroit. There's your dollar.
Thank you.
Now, here's one that's a little bit tougher. A 6-letter word that has 4 O's in it.
Oh.
Oh? It's got 4 O's in it, a 6-letter word. It's sort of a jinx. It means something like a jinx. The first letter is H.
Hoodoo.
Hoodoo, yeah, Miss Webb of Nashville got that. And one last thing here. What famous Hollywood restaurant reminds you of Al Smith? For $1.
Crown Derby?
Crown Derby from Detroit.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, young ladies. And for the folks at home, take them these tins of Kentucky Club in packages of julep cigarettes. And thank you so much. We've enjoyed having you. Wally, how about it?
Yeah,
Have you
3
got
of
some
the
more?
other girls coming right in.
Let
Here.
'em
Step
by,
right
gal.
in quickly. All right. And tell us who you are.
I'm Helen Ruth Bass, a freshman at State Teachers College in Memphis, Tennessee.
Boy, you sound it. And where are you from?
Gloria Sheen of Buffalo, New York.
Yes?
And Carolyn Menotis from Little Rock, Arkansas, freshman in college.
Good. Well, you're all scattered from all over the country. Now, first of all, I understood somebody gave me a tip that one of you 3 girls had never been on a train before. Who is it?
I've never been on a train before.
Miss Shane from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Never even on a little local ride?
Never.
My goodness. Don't they have trains in Buffalo, I'm sure.
Oh, certainly they have.
Well, now, in connection with that, I'll tell you what. I'll give you $1 singly, Miss Sheen, if you can tell me 6 persons with different duties to perform on a railroad train. I'll make it 5.
Well, the engineer.
Right?
You want me to tell what he has to do?
No. Just name the men, their occupations. The engineer and what else?
I got it. Lovesick.
That's it. Miss Pilkington of Detroit got the word that describes Willie Baxter in the picture 17. The 8-letter word starting with L and ending with K. It's lovesick. Give her the $5. Mark.
She has the 5.
Porter, right.
And conductor.
Right.
And,
Where'd they carry the mail?
pardon me?
Where did they carry the mail? Well, I can only give you $50 on that. That's all right, though. It's your first train ride. Mail clerk, baggage master, and all things like that. And the waiters and so on and so forth. All right, let's jump around a bit. $1 for the first answer to this question. Why was William Tell forced to shoot an apple off his son's head?
He wanted to.
No, he didn't. Oh, no, indeed. But one particular thing made him do it.
Prove that he could shoot?
Well, he knew he could, but he was scared, Jones. Remember he had the jitter shooting at his own son?
That's right.
Hmm?
That's
What
right.
made him do it? Who made him do it?
The king, maybe.
No, it wasn't any king. It was the cap. He wouldn't salute the cap of the tyrant Gessler, don't you know, in the marketplace? Huh? All right, along the same lines, tell me 2 famous stories, they may be fairy stories if you want, that are laid in a forest.
Robin Hood.
There's $1. Go right ahead.
As you like it.
As you like. Is that?
That
Huh?
was little sister, right?
No, I don't care. Is that in the forest? Yeah, it is. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's another kind of a hood. You can get $1, Miss Little Rock. If you...
Tonight?
Oh, no. It's laid in a forest.
Oh.
There's some kind of a hood. Now, that ought to. Come on.
Oh.
The fairy story.
She said Robin Hood, didn't she?
Yeah, but this is another kind of a hood.
I can't see.
Anybody know?
Oh, Red
Of course. Now, watch out for this one. What two kinds of buildings have walls built around them?
Penitentiary.
$2 piece. That's absolute synchronization of thought there. What other one? You girls have been dreaming in one for a week.
Castle?
That's right, of course. Now, I want you girls to take your 3 tins of Kentucky Club and your 3 packages of mint cool juleps home to the folks. Thank you so much. All right, Park.
Yes, sir, Wally. And here's that swell guy. And if there is a typical American boy, a young man anywhere in this country, it's Jackie Cooper. He's handsome. And, of course, we all know he's talented, and the association I've had with him here, he's happy, and he's a regular fellow. Jackie, we're glad to see you. We're glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
You mind taking a little Vox Pop test with us here, Jackie? Just a fast one right quick.
No. Any dollar bills?
Yes, sir. There's some dollar bills on that stuff. I'm going to give you a little geography to start with. The Tropic of Capricorn, is that north or south of the equator for $1?
South.
South? Here's your dollar, Jackie. Wally, you got one for him?
Yeah, I sure have.
Shoot
Jackie, what fight has been most read about and talked about over the radio in the last week? What battle?
Not in Europe.
No, this was in New York.
Lewis and
Jackie, where would I go if I wanted to find a spatula? Huh? Got any idea?
You got me.
The girls are all laughing at you?
Well, how about a rutabaga?
I don't know if you find those out here or not.
You know what they are?
You find them in the garden. That's right.
In the garden. Yes, sir, for $1. All right, Wally, shoot.
Jackie, this doesn't apply to you, my boy, because your performance in that picture, 17, is wonderful.
Thank you.
I want you to tell me where, I'll give you $2 if you get this one. Where did the term a ham actor come from?
Oh, I got you there. I learned this a long time ago.
You did, really?
Yeah.
Oh, $2.
Yes, sir. Years ago, before they started to use grease paint, they used to use ham fat.
You
on
got
their
it.
faces.
Ham fat on the face.
Good,
That's
Jackie.
right.
Man, we're doing
Oh,
fine.
you're doing wonderful, boy. You got a lot of money.
Look at this.
Say, Jackie, these girls around here, they're crazy about you. How do you like them?
Oh, gee, I think they're swell, and they're all so pretty, too, and they got talent, too.
Is that right? How do you mean?
Well, for example, Carolyn Monrotis of Little Rock, Arkansas. You know, she told me that after college she hoped to get into the movies. She asked me to read over one of the scenes from this new picture, 17. Would you like to hear us do it, maybe?
We surely would, and we know the radio audience would like to hear this young girl get her first voice test on Vox Pop. Go right ahead, Jackie, and sort of set the stage for us.
All right. Well, Carolyn will play Lola. That's the part played in the picture by Betty Field, and I'm Willie Baxter, the lovesick fella, you know. And Lola's a visitor in my hometown, and, you know, a girl from the big city with exaggerated ideas about her worldliness and sophistication. I'm trying awful hard to make an impression on her, and I've been showing off with my imitations of, I've been imitating dogs and cats, and I've just imitated a rooster, and she looks a little bit startled as I explain. I call that dawn in the barnyard.
Too marvelous. Darling, I know you could make a fortune on the radio.
Well, I'd prefer radio to the stage because if you go on the stage, you have to make love to absolutely strange actresses. And, well, I'm sure that I could never make love without feeling it. I think love is sacred, don't you?
But definitely. What have you got up? Your sleeve?
But about love, I don't mean some kinds of love. I mean real love. You take some people, I don't believe they ever know what real love is.
What nice soft cheeks you have.
Oh, they're not so soft. Sometimes they're pretty rough. Now, as I was saying about real love, love is something nobody can understand unless they feel it. And, well, if they don't feel it, well, then they can't understand it. Well, what I mean is it's sacred. Don't you think so?
Oh, I do. Definitely.
Oh, I'm glad you agree with me. Because the love a man feels for a girl and a girl feels for a man, that's if they really love each other. And when you look at a case like that, of course they both love each other, or it wouldn't be real love. Oh, well, it would be sacred, wouldn't it?
But definitely.
Nice going, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie Cooper and Carolyn Monrotis of Little Rock. Thank you very much. That was swell. And Wally, are you ready?
Yes, indeed. It's certainly good to see one of the little girls have her first radio test here with Jackie Cooper. Now, Parks, I was just opening up a package of juleps here for one of the studio makeup artists. Isn't the bright green color for this julep package soothing to the eye, Miss Forbes?
Oh, it certainly is.
Just as juleps are soothing to your throat. There, the pack's open. Take a whiff, Miss Forbes. You know if anything special about those juleps?
Why, they're mint-flavored.
That's right. Juleps have a mild, delicate scent of mint, just enough to add mint freshness and mint coolness to the natural flavor of perfect tobacco. Cigarette smokers by the millions are flocking to the 3 new cigarettes on the market. All 3 are swell. Now, here's what I want you to do. Smoke this pack of mint-cooled juleps and compare them with these 2 other new extra-quality cigarettes. Here's a pack of each. Give it to the lady there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All 3 of these new cigarettes have something special to recommend them. But I know you'll agree that juleps are the best of the best. And, folks, I want you all to make this same test. Try all 3 of the new cigarettes with their wonderful special features and see if you don't choose juleps. They're a new taste treat for discriminating smokers who find all ordinary cigarettes taste just the same. And it's you discriminating smokers who have swept juleps to such overnight success. So everybody, take our tip. Try the new mint-cooled juleps. They're frosted to give your throat a thrill. Come on in, Bart.
Yes, sir. And before I bring these next beautiful girls up, I want to remind the folks that 2 weeks from tonight, Vox Pop will bring you the typical bachelor of 1940. Now, if you have any suggestions, drop a letter to Vox Pop, care of CBS, with full information about the typical bachelor. We want to know where he is. We'll bring him to New York, no matter where he lives, all expenses paid, and interview him on Vox Pop 2 weeks from tonight. Now, from bachelors to beautiful young ladies of 17. The 3, your name, please?
Miss Arswaffer from Dallas.
From Dallas, Texas?
Virginia Reinhold from Columbus, Ohio. I'm Naomi Fowler from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Fine. Yes, 3 prettier girls I've never seen unless it was the 2 preceding groups that I had. Let's get right into the dollar questions, and then I want to find out after that something about you individually. But I want to give away these dollars. They're burning my hand. The first one that answers it, what is 10% of a dozen? 10% of a dozen?
1.5. 1 3/4.
10% of a dozen? Oh, you girls.
1 and 2/10.
1 2/10 for Miss Wofford of Dallas. Good. How many strings on a violin?
4.
4 for Miss Reinhold of Columbus. Can you name any character in Gulliver's Travels? Any of you?
Gulliver.
Gulliver. It was funny how the rest of the girls were just frowning and looking around. That was very cute. Now, animals sometimes bear the names of countries from which they come or they refer to them. Give me quickly the name of any animal bearing the name of any country.
Arabian horse.
Arabian horse is right. What, are they usually white, do you think?
Yes, I think so.
That's all on $1 on that. But now here's $1 for the first girl that'll give me the full name of her first sweetheart. Have you got the nerve, girls?
Ronald Jackson.
Ronald Jackson. Where did he live?
I don't remember his address.
In case Ronald is listening, that was Naomi Fowler of Salt Lake City. Was he a handsome chap?
Well, I thought so at the time.
There's $1 because you had your nerve and you pulled it out. Tell me, Virginia Reinhold, at what time do you think a 17-year-old girl should get in at home at night?
My mother and father are listening now.
I sort of thought maybe they were.
Perhaps maybe 2.
2 a.m. You mean the next day?
That's what I meant. But if they're not listening, maybe 1.
Well, what time do you ordinarily get in when you go, say, to a dance? 1 o'clock?
1.
Mm-hmm. How about that, Miss Wofford of Dallas? Is the custom the same down in your section?
I have to be home by 12.
By 12? Well, maybe we're backing up a little bit. How about Salt Lake City? It's going with the time zones.
Well, doesn't make much difference back there.
Tell me, Miss Reinhold, what do you think is the worst fault of the girls of today? If they have any. Personally, I don't think they have.
I think we're inclined to agree with you.
That will never do to leave it there. How about it? Don't you think, Miss Wofford of Dallas, that the girls have some faults? I know the boys, if they were here, would give it to us.
Maybe they grow up too quick.
Is that
quickly.
it?
Yes.
Well, now, that was just a reverse of what somebody told us a while ago. Well, there's this much I can say. Here, give me these tins of tobacco and these juleps for the girls to take home to Papa, brother, and that best boy that Salt Lake City doesn't mind. And thank you very much. Wally, how about it? Are you ready?
Yes, indeed, Parks. Here.
Boy, there's something to study over on that last one.
This closes out the whole 17 with these two. Who are you, girls?
I'm Jean Tye from Houston, Texas.
Yeah?
I'm Virginia McGill from Kansas City.
You both in school?
Yes.
You've been doing, I noticed, a little dancing around this town, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Where have you been?
Well, we've been to Earl Carroll's and Ciro's and, Coconut Grove.
Well, I saw you dancing with Guy Lombardo over there last night, and you seem to be having a lot of fun. How about it? Did you have a dance with Jackie?
Oh, yes.
Is he a pretty good dancer?
Oh, yes.
He's gone. You can talk loud. What about it? Parks, you know, Jackie's been trying to get me to take this money back over there that he won. He said he won too much. I told him to give some kid a nice dinner, and he's going to do it. Now, girls, let's get going here. I want you to have a chance at some of these dollars. What other relation could your aunt's brother be besides your uncle? His father-in-law. Well, I'll tell you, I bet this individual's listening to you, so you better hurry up and get it. Come on, Miss Monroe. You say you know it.
The father.
That's right. Go. What two things does a man use that has a blade by the time he wakes up and gets to work?
A razor and...
There's $2 gone. And what else? Before he goes to the office.
When he scratches, he uses a knife.
That's it, of course. So you get another $1 for that. He uses a razor and he uses a knife at breakfast. Watch this one. How many doors has a modern elevator?
2. 1.
1, 2.
Well, a sliding door.
Huh? Isn't it 3?
Oh,
Huh?
yes, it does have 3.
First door's part and the other one's slide.
Yes,
Aside from a man, can you tell me 3 living things that talk?
Parrots.
Parrots talk, right.
Tom.
There's another animal of the sort of like the parrot family can talk. No? Well, can you name anything else? Name other one.
Tom.
How about a woman? Can't she talk? My Why, of course. All right, I'll tell you. Can you recall 2 nursery rhymes where somebody stole something? For $1 a throw.
Peter.
He picked a peck of pickled peppers, but he didn't do
the pig. Oh.
That's right. Somebody stole a pig. That's right. There's your $1. You can't think of the other one. He stole a marrowbone or something. Roast of beef.
No.
Happened to Welshman. Didn't you know that?
No.
Well, I'm sorry we have no more time, girls, but I want you to take your 3 tins of Kentucky Club and your 3 packs of julep cigarettes home to the folks. All right, Parks, come on in.
Wally, we can't leave and without saying again to Jackie how much we appreciate him being with us this afternoon. And, Jackie, just one other little question I've got to ask you. You came out too well on that other. For another $1, you've given all those others away. Straighten this old familiar proverb out for me. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you cannot make him think. Now, from what familiar proverb did that come? Not that that isn't true.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
This boy just takes dollars. Oh, goodbye, Jack, and thank you very much. And now here's Wally with an important 15-second message.
Parks and I have just one thing to ask you pipe smokers tonight. Get yourself a tin of Kentucky Club tobacco. Remember, it's packed in patented fresh tex. Look for the handsome blue tin with the thoroughbred horse and red-coated rider. And for you cigarette smokers, mint-cooled juleps are your best bet. And now, Parks, how about next week?
Well, as you know, Wally, next week Vox Pop is going to take you to Alexandria, Virginia, to a huge Washington's birthday party in an old tavern, famous since the days when George Washington himself honored it with his presence. Join in the celebration, folks. Same time, same station, next Thursday evening. Good night, folks.
This is a Columbia Broadcasting System.
tobacco you ever smoked, Jim?
Oh, that's easy. Kentucky Club. And here comes Box Pop with Parks Johnson and Wally Butterworth, broadcasting from an operating room at New York's great Roosevelt Hospital. Box Pop, you know, is dedicated to the grand and glorious Order of Pipe Smokers and brought to you every Thursday in honor of Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco, the all-white Burley Blend and Julep cigarette. The new exciting cigarette frosted to give your throat a thrill. And friends, tonight Box Pop, radio's pioneer audience participation show, comes to you from a location seldom as ever before visited by a radio program. We're right in the center of the famous McLean operating room in Roosevelt Hospital, and we're going to operate on the brain cells of some of the smartest young interns in America. They're a great bunch, and they've got a big crowd of girlfriends, wives, nurses, and other friends here to help celebrate a half hour off duty. So here we go with the men in white, and here's Parks Johnson to start us off. Parks.
Yes, sir, Dr. Winters. Folks, tonight we're paying $5 for the winner of our running question as usual. $5 and a carton of Julep cigarettes. And our running question tonight is this. All of you who are going to be interviewed, listen to it. How many mills or slots, you know, take a quarter, 25 cent piece, and these little slots around the edge? How many milled slots are there around the edge of a 25-cent piece? Now, sir, your name, please.
Dr. Finn.
Dr. Finn. Where are you from, Dr. Finn?
New York City.
What's your first name?
Frederick.
And what school did you go to?
I went to college of physicians and surgeons.
That's in New York.
That's right.
Dr. Finn, you're in good humor tonight?
Oh, an excellent.
Good. All right. Now, give us a guess on the number of slots around this. We call them mills.
I think there are 180.
180 for Dr. Finn. All right, Dr. Finn, a little free advice. Can a person sleep too much?
I can't.
You can't? Well, it isn't fair to be asking for free advice or anything like that, so I'm going to start throwing dollar bills around here for some advice. The normal human pulse, as you know, I think the average is called 72, isn't that right?
72 to 80.
72 to 80. All right, what? For $1 now, what would be the normal pulse of a mouse? You've seen a cute little old mouse sitting there. Give us a
Well, it depends whether the mouse is frightened or not.
The mouse is frightened, let's say.
Is that the normal condition of the mouse?
That's the normal condition of the mouse when you see it. Excellent. Give us a guess.
Well, I'd say it was about 120.
600. Don't give you $1 on that. That's not close enough, is it?
Well, I haven't been working on mice recently.
Mice are men, and you take the men. Is that right,
That's
Doctor?
right.
All right, Doctor, let's pretend just a minute. Let's pretend that the only people listening to this broadcast tonight are people living on the planet Venus. See?
Oh, yeah.
They can talk English, fortunately. They can understand what we're saying, but they don't know anything about what's down here on this earth. Now then, bear that in mind when answering this question. Dr. Finn, what is a cow?
This is on Venus.
You're the only people listening are people who live on Venus and who can talk English. But they've never been down here, and they've never seen a cow. What is a cow, Dr. Finn?
Well, that's a four-legged milk problem.
What's a leg?
That's a quarter.
A leg?
Yes, a quarter.
What's
quarter
a
of a
quarter?
cow.
Well, what's a cow?
I told you what a cow was before.
Well, now, look, I'm from Venus, you see, and I never saw one of the things.
Well, in the first place, I don't believe you have an atmosphere up there, do you?
Well, I'm assuming that they're up there. Come on, Doc.
Well, now we're back to what a cow is. That's
right, we're back to what is a cow. Well, here I am on Venus, and I can hear you, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's a tan-shaped animal. And,
What's tan? Wait a minute. What's tan?
Tan is that shade between white and brown.
Doc, you're a good sport. That's worth $1. You're a good sport. You were really, I beat you to play it with me right along. Now, right quick, for about $5 or $6 here. You studied anatomy, haven't you?
Yes, a long time ago.
All right, I'm going to give you... Long time ago, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you some clues here. Each clue, the answer to the thing, will be some part of the body. For instance, something that a strict parent insists that a child do to a mark. What part of the body does that suggest?
Wait a minute. That a strict parent insists
That a child do to a mark.
to a mark.
Uh-huh.
A mark. Toe the mark.
Toe the mark for $1.
Put the bill. You put the bill.
And I put the bill. You're right. And by the way... let me say right here, though, that for every $1 that these young doctors get tonight, we are adding an extra $1 for your building fund, Roosevelt Hospital, I understand.
So I'm really working for the hospital.
That's right, you are. You can keep your $, but we're adding extra $1 to that. Let's see if you can get another one so you can stick us for another $1 for the building fund. something on which Eddie Collins used to stick his chewing gum while playing ball. You recall? Some part of the body
playing
now.
ball?
Uh-huh. That's some part of the body that will remind you.
That's some part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Collins,
I think he used to stick that on his cap.
That's right. New cap is right.
Yeah.
So for another $1, Doctor, that's another $1 in the hospital fund, too.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, something, well, this is on the head now. Something suggested by a group of high school students.
Something on the head that is...
There's something around the head somewhere. Give up?
No, I don't want to give up yet.
Okay.
Something on the head that's suggested by... What about the headmaster? Or something like that.
No, I was thinking of pupil in the eye. Wouldn't they be pupil?
Well, that's in the eye, but we're talking about the head.
That's right. That's right. But there's somewhere around the head. Well, anyway, I may owe you 50 cents on that. All right. Now, this is not part of the body, but it is what you do after a very, very fast run up a long, long stairway. What do you do?
I wonder why I did it.
What do you do? You... That's worth $1 any day in the world. But what do you do when you run up a long flight of stairs?
I sit down, right away.
I'll tell you what you do. You puff, and that, of course, I'm leading up to.
Oh, yes.
The most satisfactory puff. Satisfactory puffing comes from putting Kentucky Club in your pipe. Thank you very much, Doctor. We've enjoyed having you.
Thank
you.
you.
You're a good sport. Here's your tin of Kentucky Club. All right, Wally. All right, Bart.
I might say the last doctor was in civilian clothes. This gentleman is really a man in white. Your name, sir?
Dr. Magnuson.
Dr. Magnuson, what is your school?
New York University.
You're an intern here?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, right away, take your guess on the number of ridges around the milled edge of a quarter.
I'll say 120.
120 we'll put down. Now, since our subject is medicine and things pertaining to it, here's a way you can make a quick $1 by telling me who ran first, second, and third in the Kentucky Derby last Saturday.
Well, there was Galahad on first, Bimelech second, and Bit third.
Take the $1. I see you play the ponies. You have bad habits. Doc, do you remember your first operation?
Yes, sir.
The one you performed. What was it?
Sure do. It was a tonsil.
Tonsillectomy.
Yes.
Aha. How did it come out? All right?
Well, it's still alive.
Still alive. What I'm trying to get at is, did the patient know it was your first operation?
Yes, I believe so.
Is that a fact? Boy, that was a brave patient, don't you? Now, you've taken a lot of temperatures, I'm sure, Doctor.
Yeah.
A regular clinical thermometer, I would give you $1 if you could tell me the scale that is written on that thermometer, where it starts and where it stops.
It stops at 108, and it begins at 96.
Do? 94. Give you 50 cents on that.
That's a lot better than a lot of doctors.
I understand there are some special thermometers around hospitals that go to 110 or over, but 94 to 108 is regular. Okay, give me 5 nicknames or slang phrases for a doctor.
Doc, Sawbones, plumber, medic.
Yep. A plumber. I know someone called a plumber.
That goes for Dr. Benson here. Is that fine?
Well, I don't know, but it's worth the $1. You're all right. That plumber's a new one. Now, I'd be willing to give $1 apiece if you could give a technical and very intelligent description of both and illustrate it, a snore and a sneeze. Now, we'll start with the snore. Just tell us what is a snore.
A snore is a noisy inspiration.
What causes the noise?
The air passing through the nose.
Yeah, and what else? I looked this up in dictionary, and that's the only reason I'm up on it.
And through the mouth.
Yeah, and where's it hit? Where's it vibrate?
It vibrates in the mouth.
In the mouth? What part of the mouth?
The palate. The tonsil.
The palate and the usual. All right, I'll give you $1 on that. Now, you've got to give me the example of a sneeze.
Sneeze?
Yeah, give me a good one.
That's noisy expiration.
Well, I mean, first I want the illustration of the snore.
All right.
Pardon me. Now, let me see. That's pretty good. It's all right. All right, now we'll take the sneeze. What is a sneeze? Here's the $1, by the way.
Sneeze is a noisy expiration.
Yeah. What causes it?
That's blast of air running through the nose.
Well, it's all right if you say so. I personally thought it was an irritation, but that's all right. Here's $1 if you give me the sneeze.
A good one now.
Well, I'll tell you this, Doc. There's no man yet ever sneezed over the mild aroma of Kentucky Club. It's entirely too mild. Put that in your pipe and smoke it for us.
I certainly shall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Parks, who's next here?
Well, Wally, here's a man we interviewed on Vox Pop about 5 months ago. You remember Mr. Webb?
Welcome back, Mr. Webb. Come right in here. Thank you, Wally. Hey, you weren't smoking a pipe the last time we saw you.
No, you made a pipe smoke out of me. Especially when you gave me that tin of Kentucky Club.
Aha! Well, that's what we like to hear. Parks, our crusade for pipe smoking is bearing fruit. This is more evidence to prove our contention that any man can smoke a pipe if it's filled with good old Kentucky Club.
Well, it's true. I'd tried dozens of brands, but they were all too harsh and strong. Kentucky Club was the first tobacco I found that was mild enough for my sensitive throat.
Yes, sir, Mr. Webb. We've had thousands of letters from smokers who say the same thing. And men, Kentucky Club's mildness, so essential to the enjoyment of pipe smoking, is the result of Willoughby Taylor's all-white burley blend. It makes any pipe taste twice as good.
So, men, get a handsome blue tin of Kentucky Club tonight. And listen to this. Inside that tin, you'll find a valuable coupon that makes it easy for you to get a genuine Willoughby Taylor pipe in no time at all. And what a pipe that is. Made of handsome imported briar with patented moisture guard and reamer combined. Now, you get 8 of those valuable coupons in the big economical canister of Kentucky Club. So start collecting them now, and remember, Vox Pop is the voice of the people, Kentucky Club, the choice of the people. Okay, Park.
Sir, and come up here, please. There's a young doctor all in white. He looks mighty good to me. Tell me your name, please.
John Bradford.
Where from, Mr. Babson?
I'm from Greenville, Tennessee.
Greenville, Tennessee. What college you go to?
I went to Harvard Medical School.
Harvard Medical, and now you're finishing up here as an intern at Roseville Hospital, is that right?
I'm working on it, yes.
Working on it. How long before you going to get out?
Oh, a couple of years yet.
A couple of years. Oh, well, you'd be a good man to get some free advice. No, I'm not going to ask for free advice tonight. I'm going to pay for all my advice. But first of all, how many mills, how many slots around the edge of a quarter? Give us a guess.
133.
133 for Dr. Babson. Now, as a rising young doctor, and for $1 fee, remember, tell me, now, your best judgment on this, do people in love really suffer?
Almost as much as those who are not, I think.
Well, now, let me get this straight. You married, Doctor?
Yes, sir, I am.
You're married. Yes. You suffered before you married, didn't you? Especially in the spring?
Yes and no.
Yes or no, huh? There's $1. I told you if you gave me the advice, I'd give it to you. But now for another $1 fee. Suppose I came to you with the following symptoms, see? I said, Doc, what in the world's the matter with me? And here were the symptoms. I have a terrible time getting that out. I feel miserable, see. I got no special place to feel miserable, but I just feel miserable. I'm unable to concentrate, seems like. I just can't get my mind settled on my way. I don't sleep well, and I sort of find myself trying to write little poetry occasionally and stuff like that, and I'm losing weight. What's wrong with me, Doctor, for $1?
Well, I'd say you had spring fever. Are you in love?
Oh, boy. I would be one or the other. And there's your $1. That makes 2 for you and 2 going into the Roseville Hospital building fund. Now, Doc, for some quick ones here. Now, don't back off from these, because these are very, very important things. What is the normal human temperature? Now, that's not worth $1, but the one that follows it is. 98.6, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right. What would be the normal temperature of a goat? For $1. If you get within 1 degree of it, I give you $1.
I would say
100?
No, 91.
91? Oh, no, I can't give it all. It's 103 and 8 tenths. Well, now let's try it from another angle. What would be the normal pulse of a pig? Let's put it that way.
I'd say about 300, sir.
No, sir, no. It ranges from 60 to 90 on the pulse. The reason I know, I got these figures right straight from Dr. Goodman's Dog and Cat Hospital out there in Great Neck, see, and Doc knows what he's talking about. Now, I can't give you $1 yet. Let's see. Yes or no for $1 on this one. Does a spider have a skeleton?
Yes. I believe it's external.
That's right for $1. By golly, here you are. Did you ever play golf?
Yes, sir.
You never did the family washing on Monday.
No, sir.
You didn't. All right, now between the two, which job would require more energy, more calories? Playing a round of golf for 1 hour or washing the clothes for 1 hour? Which would take more energy, more calories?
Well, the way I play golf, I would say washing clothes would.
Well, now you may win the dollar on that. I don't know how you play golf. You let loaf along, don't you? Well, Doctor, just a moment. You seem a little bit nervous. Will you stick out your tongue for me? Now say, it's just as I thought, and here's your prescription. You've been smoking a horse tobacco. Give me that tin of Kentucky Club. Your tin of Kentucky Club. That'll take care of you, Doctor, and thank you very much. And another gentleman in white. Doctor, what is your name?
Mitchka,
Where are you from?
Rye, New York.
And your school, your medical school?
Duke University.
Oh, down southways, huh?
That's right.
Good for you. Doctor, take your guesses to the mills around the edge of the port.
I'd say 200.
200? Put that down. You may win $5 out of 25 cents. That's not bad profit, is
No,
it?
that'd be right now.
Today is Thursday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's right. Spell it backwards correctly for $1 for me, will you, Doctor?
YADSRUHT.
Oh, you're pretty good. Yeah. I'll bet you had a great record in medical school, huh?
Oh, you'll have to refer to my medical qualifications.
Now, I'll give you $1 if you can tell me within 3 pounds what a good, healthy skeleton weighs.
A good, healthy skeleton at what age?
Yeah, what would it weigh?
Well, it depends on the age of the healthy skeleton.
Well, we'll take an adult.
An adult.
Yeah.
I'd say about 65 pounds.
65 pounds for a skeleton?
Right.
Huh?
Take a skeleton like mine. There isn't much on it.
I mean a dry one.
Well, taking that hint, I'll make it 40 pounds.
40 pounds. Well, I don't know. How about it, boys? I say about 15 pounds. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. We'll let that go, and I'll check it with you later. All right, now, if you can tell me within 10 years when the American Medical Association was founded, I'll give you $1.
I'd say in 1891.
1847. What is the most complicated medical term that you know, Doc, for $1?
Diphthalobaphiocephalus latent.
When did he die?
They're still living, I'm afraid.
What in the world is that thing?
Well, it's not very delicate.
No. We won't I'm awfully glad it was such terminology because I'm sure nobody but a doctor would understand it. Anyhow, here's $1. That sounded like a honey of a name. Now, there are various types of medicine men. What 3 things are the chief stock in trade of a circus medicine man?
An Indian war bonnet.
Oh, I mean the circus, not the Indian medicine man.
Well, if a medicine man in the circus would probably have a war bonnet.
He would. Mm-hmm. All right.
And a bottle of $1 remedy that'll cure most anything, and a good, strong voice.
There you are, my boy. Yes, sir. Now, how about an Indian medicine man?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he'd have to have those attributes, too, but he'd have a horse and wagon to get it moving around.
He'd have to do a little raving, though, and trance-like stuff, wouldn't he? To cure people and that kind of business?
No, I think he has someone to go into a transform, and he cures them.
Okay, yes. Now, one more thing, Doctor. I want you to prescribe for me, or rather for a lady. I'm sure she must be a lady. This is one of those lovelorn things, and I want to get a little professional advice, which I'm perfectly willing to pay for. She writes me a letter, and she says, I am a young girl of 51 years of age, and I'm madly in love with a fine young man of 19. Should we elope now, or should I wait until he's just a little older?
You say she wrote you that
letter?
letter?
She signs it lovesick. Now, what would you prescribe in such a case, Doctor?
Well, I'd say offhand there's a problem for a psychiatrist, and I'm no psychiatrist. But it'd probably be a combination between a straitjacket and some good sedative.
Well, I think what we would do is probably cool her ardor a little bit with some mid-cool julep cigarettes. Okay. There's a packet for you, Doctor, and thank you very much for the interview. And here's the last $1. right, Bart. Okay, Wally. Nice work, and it just reminds me of what Dr. White asked me not long ago. He says, Fox, do you know what a psychiatrist is? And I said, no. He says a psychiatrist is a chap what makes you squeal on yourself. Is that right, Doc?
That's very true.
A chap that makes you squeal on yourself? Your name, please?
Heroy.
What's your first name?
Bill.
Bill Heroy. That's well. My golly, where'd you come from? Your hometown?
Bronxville, New York.
And your school?
Columbia University.
And you got a little while longer left here?
No, I'm almost through.
Almost
Just 2 more
through.
weeks.
Well, you're an expert. I'll get in some expert stuff with you and get some real advice. Tell me, how many mills are on the edge of a quarter? How many slots? Some people call them that.
230.
230 for Dr. Heroy. Now, Doctor, for $1, how many square feet of skin would you say there are on me? Not a very large fella, not a very small fella.
Well, if you haven't skinned yourself.
You mean where you can't see, huh?
Well, I can't see. I think it'd be around 14 to 16 square feet.
For $1. You're right. You're close right on it. Close enough. Now, Doctor, the average kitchen faucet, if you turn it on, full force. Now, some of them, of course, will go more than this. Some, of course, will go less. But I'm talking about the average. Full force will go about 4 gallons a minute. Suppose I have just taken some very violent exercise, like running up long stairways that I was talking to our friend about a moment ago. About how many gallons would be passing through my heart in that same minute?
Very violent exercise.
Yeah. For $1.
I should imagine I'm supposed to say less, so I'll say twice as much.
Well, what do you say? 8?
Yeah.
You remember your stuff pretty good. There's your $1 on that. Now, Doctor, within 100, how many hospitals are there in the United States? Give us a guess for $1.
Within 100?
Mm-hmm. I got this from American Medical Association Authority on the first day of January.
Gosh, that's an awfully hard
Give us a
question.
guess. Well, we'll pass that. 6,166. By the way, what is the normal temperature of a swallow? Not a sparrow, but a swallow.
102.
Oh, I wish I could give you $1. It's 110. Within
Birds.
within you guys have got some pretty good ideas around here. I was thinking that. Let's come see the doctors again, Wally. Doctor, see if you remember some of the stuff that you learned a long, long time ago. Go back a little bit. Is the human skin waterproof for $1?
Yes, it is.
Good. There's another $1. One for you and one for the hospital. Now, one thing here. What is the normal temperature of a cow? Now, there's a difference between a dairy cow and a beef cow. Let's call it a dairy cow. Within 2 degrees.
A dairy cow.
Mm-hmm. You folks in Minnesota and stuff out there, listen.
101 and a half.
Exactly. Well, 101 and a half. A beef cow is 100.
Okay.
Now, Doctor, speaking of temperatures and hot weather, let me prescribe mint cool juleps. One and I smoke them, and we know you'll like them.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. We're glad to have had you. Say, Wally, seeing all these doctors to be around here sure makes me think that a word right now about our new julep cigarettes would be mighty appropriate.
Absolutely, Parks. Folks, physicians, nurses, and dentists were the first to appreciate the many advantages of smoking mint-cooled juleps. They like the true flavor of the finest tobacco in juleps, of course, but they also realize how important it is to keep your breath sweet and your mouth tasting fresh and clean, especially when examining a patient's tonsils or working on a bothersome molar. You see, folks, mint-cooled juleps are safe to smoke in business or socially. They're a carefree smoke, a must for anybody who wants to be considerate of others. Surely you can understand why. After all, you know that mint is cool and clean and fresh. So it just naturally follows that the mint in juleps leaves your breath sweet, your mouth clean and fresh. We've proved it by actual laboratory tests. And say, now that warm weather is here, wait till you see how welcome that mint coolness of juleps is. Refreshing after the first or 41st cigarette. So get a bright green pack of mint-cooled juleps tonight. Enjoy smoking more with juleps. They're frosted to give your throat a thrill. And now, another gentleman in white. Doctor, what is your name?
Bill Ames.
Oh, Bill Ames. Bill, where are you from?
I'm from Meriden, Connecticut.
And your medical school?
I was CN at Columbia.
CN what?
CNS, Physicians and Surgeons.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Doctor, I want to, in passing here, what is the average salary of an intern?
Why, it's very low.
How much? $25 a week? $50 a week?
No, in most of the voluntary hospitals, there's no salary.
You just work.
Just work. Yes.
I see. Well, I hope you get $1 million fees later on. You deserve them, I'll tell you that. And we're happy indeed to contribute here to your building fund at the hospital and be with you again. How about the quarter? How many mills?
Oh, I'll make it 227.
227. Put that down, will you, Parks? For $1, what famous American poet was also a famous physician?
Oliver Wendell Holmes.
You're all right, my boy. Yeah, he was professor at Harvard, too, wasn't he?
Me, too, huh?
Insulin has saved many, many lives. You know that, Doctor? I'll give you $1 if you tell me where and when it was discovered.
It was discovered about 1920 up in Canada. Now, I can't tell
By
you
whom?
where. Banting.
Banting and Best Working in Toronto, Canada. That's close enough. It was 1922, however, but I'm going to give you that $1. You got the name. Now, Bill Jones is not a doctor. Get that picture? He marries a lady who is. I want you to address an envelope to the both of them, and how would you do it?
Well, now that, her degree was that presented to her before she was married or after?
Well, it presented to her before she was married.
Before she was married.
She's a medical doctor.
Well, I would imagine you would put Mr. Bill Jones and Dr.
And No, you want to address a combined invitation to Mr. Jones and his wife, who is the doctor.
Oh, and his wife.
Yes.
Well, that's right. Then you just say Mr. and Mrs. Bill Jones.
You're absolutely right. That's correct. You forego her title in that condition. Now, what is the only part of the body that is not generally treated in hospitals? I know it's being done more so each day, but not generally.
Why, the hair.
Hair? Well, the Marcel waves. They clip you around here. How about the teeth? Do many hospitals have dental clinics?
I think the majority of them.
You have one here?
Yes.
Well, I'll give you the $1 then. I'm not going to worry about that. Now, I want to just ask one more thing. Should children be spanked?
I think in certain cases it's strongly indicated.
It is. That's good medical advice. I hope my son is listening. Now, if you'll give me 5 synonyms for the word earn, you've earned $1.
Make.
No.
I'm stuck, sir. I'm absolutely.
No.
I'm stuck, sir. I'm absolutely speechless, I would say.
Well, give me back that $1. But you have earned a tin of Kentucky Club. That's the brand Parks and I smoke. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, Parks, come in.
Yes, sir. Well, I got time enough to get another guest here on this 2-bet, please. Your name, please?
Dr. Otto.
Dr. Otto, where from?
Grand Forks, North Dakota.
And what school?
Columbia.
Columbia, good. And your guess as to the number of mills around the edge of a quarter, Dr. Otto?
I'll make a lower guess. I'll say 100.
100 for Dr. Otto. Put it down. You ever operate on?
Yourself? For tonsils only.
Uh-huh. You had take ether, go under or something like that?
Had ether.
Would you be willing for the nurse to say what you said when you came out from under, Doctor?
Well, I was pretty young.
Oh, you were pretty young at that time. You didn't mind. For $1, what's the normal temperature of a hen, like quick?
105.
105 was to 107. I think that's close enough. If she's molten, it's 104. Thank you very much. I wish I had more time, Doctor.
Parks, tell us who won the $5.
Well, Wally, the correct answer is 119 mills around the edge of the quarter, so our $5 go to Mr. Magnuson.
Dr. Magnuson.
Dr. Magnuson, who gets 120. And now, folks, don't miss Vox Pop next week. We're going to attend a meeting of the celebrated Society of Amateur Chefs in Philadelphia. Now, if you like to eat, and who doesn't, you'll be sure to enjoy this feast of fun with a crowd of crooks. No, wait a minute. I knew I was going to pull that. A crowd of crooks. Well, there can't be too many cooks to spoil this broadcast. So you got a date with Vox Pop next Thursday, same time, same station. You remember, you pipe lovers, smoke Kentucky Club. And you considerate smokers, have a mint cool julep. Good night and happy smoking.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
What's the best tobacco you ever smoked, Jim?
Oh, that's easy. Kentucky Club. And here comes Vox Pop with Parks Johnson and Wally Butterworth broadcasting from the world-famous Aquacade at the New York World Fair. Vox Pop, you know, is dedicated to the grand and glorious order of pipe smokers. It comes to you every Thursday in honor of Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco, the smoothest smoking, all-white burley blend, and Julep cigarettes, the new exciting cigarette that's frosted to give your throat a thrill. Tonight our microphones are set up in a spot where all you people who like to swim and who like beautiful girls and handsome men would like to be. And that's backstage at Billy Rose's Aquacade at the New York World Fair. Eleanor Holm is standing here and Buster Crabbe, the two great stars of this wonderful show, and there are dozens, and I really mean dozens, of the loveliest mermaids you ever saw in your dreams or in the storybooks. And let's not neglect the men either. They all look like walking, talking examples of how to keep fit. They're really fit, and I'll bet you don't catch Parks arguing with them. How about it, Parks? Swim over here and Vox Pop the Aqua congregation.
Yes, sir, and Roland's not kidding about all those good-looking gals either. Now, come up here, sir. Let's get this thing started off. Here's one of those handsome men.
Oh.
Our running question tonight is worth $5 and a carton of juleps to the one nearest the correct answer. And here it is. What is the greatest depth in feet that a human being has ever been below the surface of the sea? I'll give you a little tip, all of you, that, of course, that has to do with that bathysphere, you know, and the guy that he went down in.
Yeah.
So give us a guess as to what you think.
I'd say roughly, when you smooth it out, though, it's about 100 feet.
How many?
100.
100 feet, huh? Put down 100 feet. Tell me your name.
Ray Twardy.
Ray Twardy. Where you from? Your old
I'm
hometown?
from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland? Yeah. Yes, sir. And what do you do in this outfit here?
Oh, I'm a comedy diver.
Comedy diver. Well, we'll get into that in a minute, but right now I'd like to know which you think is a better swimmer, a rat or a mouse? Chance for a little comedy there, Ray.
Give me a piece of cheese and I'll find out.
What would you say offhand?
I'd say a rat.
A rat. That's worth $1 to you. I didn't tell you so, but there you are. I want to start you off. A brand new one. Let me get that $5 in my pocket. Now, for another $1, let's get in some dollars here. What is the longest continuous swim the fellow ever pulled? Is it nearer 100 miles, 200 miles, or 300 miles? I'm talking about just swim and swim.
300 miles.
You know that, or you're guessing?
I'm guessing.
Well, you're right, because 288 miles, Mr. Giles, last year. You like this?
Oh, I love that.
Now, comedy diver. Comedy diver. Well, you ought to know a little bit about swimming, because after all, you got to get out of there when you fall in. Flutter is something you do with your feet when you swim, isn't that right?
That's right.
Give me 4 other things that you do that flutter for $1.
For $1?
Uh-huh. 4 other things are...
Well,
that flutter for $1.
Winged bird flutters.
That's right. That's one.
And my heart flutters.
That's 2.
Butterflies. Oh, that's flutter.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm all fluttered now.
Go ahead. You're doing all right.
Flutter. Yes.
What does your sweetheart do when you say something nice to her?
Hit me in the head.
Well, you don't get the $1 on that. Her eyes flutter, don't you know?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and the leaves flutter when they come
down.
down.
Oh, that's right.
Tell me, this comedy diving business out here at the Aquacade, you get plenty of laughs on that. I know I've laughed at the deal with that stuff. But it really is pretty hard to do that kind of a job, isn't it?
Oh, it's tough.
Don't you have to be a pretty good diver? Seriously, Ray, and I don't kid me. Don't you have to be a good diver ahead of time?
You have to be an exceptionally good diver to get away from taking a beating when you try and be funny.
For instance, when you step out, apparently not looking at the end of the springboard and miss it and all like that, did you ever hit it on the way down?
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
Been in the hospital?
Oh, no, not exactly.
Not exactly. What do you think of the boys and girls? You heard Roland Waters say that they were good-looking and a fine-looking bunch. What do you think about it?
Well, all you got to do is take a look for yourself.
I want to tell the folks listening that I've never seen a beautiful collection of folks in my life as I got here. Here's another $1 right quick. If you'll tell me what a swimmer and a baby have in common. What do they do in common? Come on.
Brother, you're open for something there.
Well, I'll tell you and give you the $1 to save it. I'll tell you that they crawl, don't they?
Oh.
Well, we got by that.
You're way ahead of me.
All right, now I'll give you one more $1 if you'll tell me what happens next.
What happens next?
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess this is the time when I get my tin of Kentucky Club.
You
don't
bet
I?
your life. Good old Kentucky Club in the dollar.
I
And
do.
you like it, I know. It's
Thank
my
you very
tobacco.
much.
I'm crazy about it. How about it, Wally? Hi, golly, that fellow's going to be president someday, I think, Mark. Well, here comes one of the lovely girls of the Aquacade show. One of the most charming of the bunch, and I have this from Miss Eleanor Holm herself. What is your name?
Agnes Squire.
Where are you from?
The Bronx. Irishman from the Bronx.
An Irishman from the Bronx, huh? What do they call you here, Miss Wire? What's your nickname?
Swamy.
Swamy. Is that any reason to Schleppy or something like that on the radio? Now, here, come on now. First of all, take your guess as to the greatest depth in feet a human being has ever been below the surface of the sea. Might be $5 if you get it right. Take a guess. Never mind that prompting out there.
Don't prompt me. I'll never guess it.
Just take a guess. Take a shot.
What was it?
How many feet below the surface of the water has a human being ever reached?
Miles?
Well, we'll say a mile. All right, put that down. You may win $5. Now, for $1, we're speaking a lot about water and sports tonight, Aggie. What is, for $1, the most romantic bit of water in the United States?
Could say something pretty nasty.
It's in New York State.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, all right, I'll pay you off $1 on that, but I want you to get the right answer. People like to go there on visits. They go on honeymoons and things like that. And it's in New York State. Now, can you guess? Most romantic body of water. Right here in New York State. Oh, it's perfectly beautiful. They all go there on honeymoons. Huh?
Niagara Falls.
Why, of course, Niagara Falls. Why didn't you say so an hour ago? Now, come here. Don't go away.
I mean.
Now, in connection with swimming, what animal's name is used as a symbol of perfection in swimming or diving? You say he swims like what? What animal? Well, fish is hardly an animal, is it?
Kind of, sort of.
All right.
Maybe in a dance.
I meant a duck, but it's all right. Now, what type of swimming is never used by good swimmers? And yet we all use it occasionally. We learn on that type. What style of swimming? You think of the name? Huh?
They're all telling me I got to say dog paddle.
Why, of course, doggy. Okay. Now, for $1, I want to test your memory. Who was the first woman to swim the English Channel?
Italy?
Italy is right. Gertrude Italy. There's the $1, my young lady. You're doing pretty well. Do you like this business? Huh?
And how?
By the way, you're a dancer here, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Just what do you do? Are you in certain routines or what?
The only one I noticed is the one I throw bumps in.
Are you one of the girls here in the line, huh? I see. All right. Now, in connection with water and other things, can you remember two things that Sir Thomas Lipton was very famous for?
For tea and,
Yes.
trying to win the boat thing?
That's right, the boat thing. The America's Cup in yacht.
Yes.
There's the $1, my young friend. Now, speaking about great stadiums here, like the Aquacade, I'll give you $1 if you can tell me the first great stadium the world ever saw that we know of.
The one in Rome? Coliseum?
Absolutely. Well, you're all right, my young friend. You're making money fast. Well, now, speaking about stadiums, I want you to notice in any stadium you go, the number of people who pull out this nice green packet of mint-cooled jewels. Here's a packet for you. Thank you very much, Aggie. You did pretty well, didn't you? Okay, Park.
Okay, Wally. Aggie was all right, too. But, Wally, right here and there and everywhere in these United States of America, there are young smokers saying to themselves as follows. A pipe is the grandest smoke in the world, and especially a pipe filled with Kentucky Club tobacco. Woe is me when I think of the many days when I pushed the pipe aside, thinking that all tobaccos had to be sharp and bitey. Well, 'tain't so anymore. Not since Kentucky Club came down the pipe. You take hot and you take cold and you compare the two, and that's the difference between the bitey blend and white, burly Kentucky Club. For a fact, as sure as you're an inch high and have a tongue in your mouth, this new blend is going to show you light smoking you never before thought possible in a pipe. With Kentucky Club tobacco, any man can smoke a pipe. It's no wonder at all It's as natural as the sun shining that young smokers should swing to a pipe now that Kentucky Club is here. So get on the bandwagon. Smoke Kentucky Club. The butt is white, so it can't bite.
Every tin and every big humidor canister of Kentucky Club contains easy directions for getting your Willoughby Taylor pipe, made of handsome imported briar with a single-unit filter, cooler, and reamer. Remember, Vox Pop is the voice of the people. Kentucky Club is the choice of the people. All right, Park?
Yes, sir, and let that beautiful, gorgeous creature behind you come up here, Roland. Come on up here. Folks, you might have guessed already that I have Eleanor Holm standing alongside of me. How are you, Eleanor? Now, you talking about stars, you folks who haven't seen this young lady pull that famous backstroke of hers with such perfect rhythm, you've still got something to see. I'd like to see you do it every day, lady.
Thank you very much.
Tell me, Miss Eleanor, first of all, your guess as to the deepest a person has ever been below the surface of the sea. In feet. Give me a guess. What would you say?
I don't know, but I know who did it. Phoebe.
Yeah, Beaver did it. Now, give me a guess. In feet.
I haven't any idea.
Take some
really.
figure right out of the air. Pull it out in hundreds of feet, say, and thousands, either way you want it. Get in on this $5 business. I can't get you. Somebody tell her. How many would you say?
450. No, they've
Take your choice.
hit the bottom.
Oh, no. The bottom is 5 or 6 or 7 miles down, you know.
Well, and they've never done that?
Well, I'll let you guess it in a minute now. You have a figure. Somebody
You're not
give her...
going to let me guess
Yes,
because I
I am.
don't know. I think I did very well knowing the man that did it.
Yeah, that's right. You did it, that.
I think
Eleanor,
it's worth at least $3 for guessing the man.
We'll argue about that at the end of the show. What I'd like to know right now is, what is the weight of your bathing suit? The one I saw you in out there the other day.
Oh, I don't think that suit weighs more than half.
An ounce?
No. I was going to say half a pound, but I think that's too heavy, too.
You really
well,
don't want
wet. No, wet it should be a half a pound.
Wet it should be a half pound. I just wanted to know. Eleanor, let's get in on $1 or so. These are brand new ones here. They put it up my hands, and I want to get rid of them.
And don't forget the 3 for Dee Dee.
All right, we won't forget Dee Dee. You've heard of a guy named Leander, haven't you? Huh?
I'm afraid that's before my time.
Seriously, though, you've heard of Leander.
Yes, I have.
All right, now, $1 if you'll tell me what body of water that young gentleman swam.
The Hellespont.
The Hellespont for $1 is right. Now, another $1 if you'll tell me who he went to visit when he swam that body of water.
Well, his sweetie pie lived on the other side, and he used to swim to see her. Her name is Harold.
Harold is right for another $1. The gal knows the story. All right, now let's see if you know what finally happened to Leander and Harold. How'd he come out?
I know. He was going to see her, or he was going to see her or going away. I'm not sure which.
You know where he's
anyway,
going to come in, huh?
He drowned, and she was so broken-hearted, she jumped in and she drowned too.
That's worth another $1 to you, lady. Now, you got 3, honestly, you see. Now, tell me, what modern swimmer swam the Hellespont for another $1?
Oh, that's the man that always kept repeating famous stunts.
Yeah, that's right.
Halliburton.
Richard Halliburton. That's right, for $1. I should know better than ask you about swimming stuff and anything like that. Seriously, tell me, is there any difference in water and swimming in water? For instance, your water out here, I know it's nice and fresh at all times and kept at an even temperature.
That's right. We have an ozonating system.
Uh-huh. Is it, how warm is it?
Well, it all depends.
It's warm enough, I mean, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Well, do you get chilly around here in May days and October days?
Yes, at night it gets
Not in the
chilly.
water, but when you get out of it, is that right?
Well, it all depends. Sometimes the water's just been cleaned and
Uh-huh.
freshened up, and
You can swim faster in fresh water, can't you?
no, they say
can't?
not. They
Is
say
that
you
so?
swim faster in salt
Well,
water.
look, how do you keep your hair so lustrous and wonderfully beautiful, swimming as much as you do?
Well, I don't know. I'm just lucky. I don't have any trouble with my hair at all.
You don't?
And I don't have any secret dryers. All I do is use a towel on it.
You just natural, huh?
That's right.
Well, I guess maybe the natural things, after all, are best, aren't they? How many people would you say have seen this big Aquacade here?
Well, last year 5 million people saw it, and I think the figures now are 1.5 million.
Believe me,
So
that's
that'll
a lot of
be
people.
6.5 million so far.
That's a lot of them. And you know, have you got any idea how many people in this whole company of yours?
Well, the
Anybody?
truth?
Yeah, give me the truth. Who knows out there? 650 on the payroll. That's in the water, on the stage, and pulling the props and all
See,
like
I
that.
was going to say 1,000, a little bit of that Rose training.
Where's Billy now, anyway? Nice work, nice work. I don't know about what you're entitled to that $3 you've been talking about, anyway. Well, now, here's another dollar coming if you'll tell me now where the stroke trudgeon, where it got its name.
There was an Englishman by that name.
By golly, you know your swimming, don't you? All right, Eleanor, and thank you very much. And just as Kentucky Club tobacco gets its name from that mild, cool, all-white Kentucky Bully, don't you know? Just like that trudgeon came in there. Anyway, it's a champion tobacco. Hand that tin to Billy, will you?
All right.
You'll have no trouble with him if he smokes that.
Thank you very much. But what about my 3 for BB?
Yes, here's your $3. Boy, he's a persistent gal, Bart. I knew you were going to get that money.
Okay, and here comes, oh, my golly, can we raise this microphone about 6 feet? Because this man is certainly tall. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is Buster Crabbe, known to all of you. And co-starring here with Miss Eleanor Holm. Buster, step up and say hello, will you?
How do you do, everybody?
My, you have a nice, handsome voice. Is that why you're in pictures so much?
Well, little training, little study, yes.
Mm-hmm. Incidentally, for all of you kiddies listening, this is the real and original Flash Gordon of the movie. Buster, let's check up on you a little bit. I think I know pretty much what I want. You were Olympic champion in what year?
1932.
And when was Miss Holm that champion? Same year, was it?
That's right, 1932.
You were over there together?
That's right.
In Los Angeles?
That's right.
That's right. Take your guess as to the greatest depth a human being has ever been able to get beneath the surface of the sea.
I understand it now. That's in a diving bell. Is that correct?
Yes.
3 miles, I'll say.
3 miles, you say. Put that down, and Buster may win some money. Now, I want you to get 3 out of 4 of these, and it pays off immediately. With what sports are the following cups or trophies associated? Bendix.
Bendix, that's aviation.
Right, there's one. The Davis Cup.
Tennis.
The Walker Cup.
Golf.
The America's Cup.
Sailing, yachting.
I'm going to get off this right quick. You're too
Thank
good,
you.
young man. Take the $1. I'll give you $1 if you can tell me what river Julius Caesar swam. He was a pretty good swimmer, too. Not as good as you, but
I take a guess.
What is
Rubicon.
It is the Rubicon. Here's the $1. I'll give you another $1 if you can tell me what river George Washington crossed.
That's...
he wasn't swimming.
Delaware.
There you are. This is bad, Parks. I'm in trouble here. What animal talks or makes his signals on the water?
Well, I just got prompted there.
You did? Well, I'll see if you got prompted right. I'll give you the $1 if you tell me.
Beaver.
The beaver, that's right. He wagged his tail.
I'll split it with you, Joe.
You're going to get a split, huh? Can you tell me a fish that makes a noise with its mouth?
A fish?
Other than a human fish like you. Makes a noise with its mouth.
With its mouth? Well, seal wouldn't be a fish, would it?
Well, it would be a water. No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't pay on that anyhow.
Well, the box fish from the islands where I come from make a noise with its mouth.
To do, huh?
Yes, like something like a seal. Something like that.
Something like that. Well, that's a wonderful.
Do I get $1?
You certainly do.
It's hard to check up on
you
me.
get the $1 for
That's
the invitation. No, I know that's true, and I was thinking of strokers and so on and so forth. Now, watch out for this one. I want 2 uses for a megaphone on the water.
2 uses to make sound travel a little further. By using a megaphone against the surface of the water, a voice will travel farther, as is borne out in Mr. Kruger's act. When he works from the water in the comedy act, and his voice carries as well from the water as mine does through a microphone.
I see. Mm-hmm. Well, what's the other use?
For a microphone on the water?
Yeah. Not a microphone, a megaphone.
A megaphone?
Mm-hmm.
I better let that one go.
No, take a guess.
Crew, coxswain?
Crew, of course, my boy. Now, speaking of races and all kinds of things like that, I would pay $1. Buster, if you could tell me where the word marathon originated. That 26-mile run.
That was originated in Greece, and it was a run that a man made from the city or town of Marathon to Athens to deliver a message.
Boy, are you good.
At the end of this run, the fellow dropped dead.
I don't know whether he dropped dead or not, but I know that's where it got the name.
Do I get another one?
Well, I'll tell you what. You get the $1, and you also get this package of mint-cooled julep cigarettes.
Yeah,
smoke them, and you'll be doing a marathon to the store every day for another pack.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Buster, and good luck to you.
Well, Wally,
let this brunette through here. We've had a blonde and brunette, and now I've got another brunette. Tell me your name, please, young lady.
My name's Virginia Richter.
Virginia Richter?
Yes.
And, Virginia, before we go any farther, how deep would you say the deepest a person has ever been below the surface of the sea? In
Well, I'd say about 2,000 feet.
2,000 feet for Virginia Richter. Virginia, did you ever see a pair of attractive knees?
Oh, yes, many.
Is that
Especially in
so?
the dressing room.
I've never seen an attractive pair of knees in my
Well,
life.
you just go backstage and go to the girls' dressing room. You'll see plenty.
No, I'd better keep out of there. I'll go out front and watch the show. For $1, Virginia, you've got a gallon of water, a gallon of alcohol, and a gallon of milk. See? Now then, in the order in which they're the lightest. Name me the lightest, the next lightest, and the heaviest.
Well,
for $1.
I'd say alcohol,
Is the lightest, that's right.
water.
That's right.
And then milk.
That's right. Here's your $1 on that. Would you, for $1, name me 5 sports that are played in or on water?
Well, I'd say diving.
Wait a minute, get around in front of this microphone. Let the customers hear it.
All right.
Diving?
Diving, fishing, aquaplaning.
That's right.
Water polo.
That's right.
And boating.
That's right, for another $1. That's good. There
Well,
you are.
that's fine. I ate this week
What are you
now.
going to do with it?
Well, I'll tell you now. I've been rather broke, and I could play a little poker now and then.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry to hear you say that. I'm afraid you won't hang on to it. Now, Virginia?
Would you like to join our game? Right?
I'm sorry, I'll be awfully busy talking about it. It's a lot of fun, I know. Tell me, the number of people who have swum the English Channel is either 3, 13, or 23. For $1, which is it?
Well, I'd say 3.
No, you're wrong there. 23 people have swum the English Channel.
Smart people.
Yeah, 23 of them. Go to, of course, Italy among them. Now then, 1, 2, or 3 of them have swum it both ways, would you say, for $1?
Let me think now.
Either 1, 2, or 3 have gone both ways.
I'll say 2.
No, see, you're next door to it.
I
That's
guess
1.
I'm no good.
Oh, yes, you are. It's a guessing problem. What's your old hometown?
My hometown is right here in New York.
Right here in New York.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you $1 if you'll give me the names of 3 cities or towns that have the word water in there. Now, that ought to be
Waterloo.
easy. Waterloo, yes, that's right. That's in Iowa, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New York, and a few other places. Go ahead. Waterloo, water. And it's funny enough.
Waterburg?
Waterburg, yes, go ahead. There's a Waterburg. And, isn't it?
Clearwater.
Clearwater, that's down in Florida, too, yeah. That's all right. And here's
it's like the Aquacade.
Here's a name that the boyfriend never hesitates on. He goes into a tobacco store and he says Kentucky Club, and they give him a tin of our good old Kentucky Club. The boyfriend will love that.
I know. Oh, you owe me $1 there for those
There's your
last
$1.
three.
There's your $1. Thank you very much. How about it, Wally? You ready?
All right, Park. You know, yesterday, I was talking to a man who was mad at himself. He said, Wally, I ought to kick myself. I ought to give myself a going over. Why? Because for years, I've been hacking and coughing and scaring people away from me with my cigarette box. I like to smoke. I switch from one cigarette to another, trying to find some way to ease up my throat. I've heard you talk about juleps since I listen every Thursday. But gosh, I thought you had a flavored cigarette that was something fancy, just a novelty, and so I passed it up. Why, I ought to be kicked. Last week, a fellow offered me a julep. I've been smoking them ever since. It's a wonderful cigarette. Swell for my throat. That mint absolutely does the trick. Well, boy, I've seen it time and again. That same thing happens. I was like that myself. The mint in juleps is the one thing that cigarettes have always needed. Gives them a freshness and a cool, soothing feeling in your mouth and throat. Buy a couple of packs tonight, friends. You'll see why physicians, nurses, and dentists were among the first to swing to juleps. You'll say mint-cooled juleps have the soundest cigarette idea in existence today. Now, Parks, if I can have this gentleman step right up here.
Right there.
Here he comes, coming and running. What is your name, my young friend?
Ralph Johnson.
Ralph Johnson? What do you do here, Ralph?
I'm a swimmer at Aquacade.
You're a swimmer. Do you have a nickname, might I say, around here?
Well, I've got a couple of nicknames around here.
What are they?
Well, I've got Stroke and
Stroke, what's that for?
Burr, and let's see, what's another one? And On the Ball.
On the Ball Johnson.
That's right.
Well, that wasn't the one I was thinking of because I heard Miss Holm call you Dopey.
Do they call you that around here?
Well, you hear that every once in a while, too. Yes, that's right.
Well, you aren't related to Park here, by chance, are you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Uh-huh. I didn't think that there was over one Dopey Johnson. Well, I'm only kidding. I'm getting my partner here. By the way, before we go ahead, Dopey, will you guess as to the greatest depth in feet a human being has ever been below the surface of the sea?
Well, offhand, I'd say 2.5 miles.
2.5 miles. That's quite a lot of feet, isn't it? 5,000 feet in a mile. Put that down. Now, how long have you been swimming?
I've been in competition since I've been about 14.
In school or what? Do you have any championships?
Yes, I hold, I believe, 2 now. Of course, there's a couple other county championships that don't mean much, but...
What are they?
New Jersey State Championship and I believe the national 100-yard backstroke that I gained at Villanova.
Fine.
In 39.
Near Philadelphia, my hometown. Say, by the way, that haircut there, does that go with your swimming? Is that what they call you stroke about around here?
Well, perhaps so, yes. I feel that it sort of streamlines you when you're in the water.
Boy, I mean you're streamlined the way you got her there. No kidding. That's the way they streamline them in a lot of other places I know where they have bars and things like that, where you look out. Now, Mr. Johnson, can a skater or a runner travel 100 miles in the faster time? Fellow on ice skates or fellow running? Take a guess.
Well, I'd say that'd be just about even.
You're absolutely right. It is. I think it's clocked at about 9 4/10 seconds for the 100 yards in skating and running. Just $1, too. May I pay you?
Thank you.
You don't object, do you?
Not at all.
Within 1,000 years, when were the first Olympic Games held? Now, that's a pretty long leeway, that 1,000 years. You must know that.
I'd say roughly somewhere BC, wouldn't it be?
Roughly, yes, but how roughly?
776, perhaps?
So you've been cheating around here, boy. You're all right. Now, what fish is claimed to be the most graceful swimmer of all? What fish? Oh, he's a pretty thing, and boy, is he good eating.
They say the dolphins are very graceful in the water.
Yeah? Would you say even more so than the trout? I know a lot of fishermen wouldn't agree with you on that.
Well, I think it'd be just about the same on that.
Say, by the way, here's $1 if you can tell me, in what 2 sports connected with water does President Roosevelt take great delight?
Fishing and swimming.
Why, of course. My boy, there's $1 for you. You weren't worried about that for a moment, were you? Now, you take these little horns on the buses that run around the Aquacade here, you know. Da-dee-da-dee-da-da, right? $1 if you can tell me what words that represents in the song, The Sidewalks of New York.
Well, let's see. Last year they had How Dry I Am. Is that it?
Da-dee-da-dee-da-da.
That's, yeah, boys and girls together. That's
Okay. Now, one more thing. I'll give you $1 more if you can tell me, here's the $1, one little slogan we have connected with water, like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
I don't get quite what you mean there.
Well, we'll have to skip that now. I'm sorry, Dopey, because we're just about to go off the air. Parks, will you tell us who won the $5 tonight?
Wally, I'll have the winner for you here in a jiffy. Meanwhile, you tell the folks about the big party we're all going to visit next week on Vox Pop, will you?
You bet. Yes, sir, and that's really going to be a gala affair. Be sure to listen next Thursday because we're going calling on a governor and his lady. We're attending in typical Vox Pop fashion a lawn party on the estate of Governor and Mrs. William Vanderbilt of Rhode Island. The party will be attended by many dignitaries and socialites of the state, and Parks and I will put the old familiar Vox Pop bee on them for a full half hour. It looks like lots of fun, and in fact, the governor told me himself that if we didn't have the grandest quizzaroo we've ever seen, he'd turn the whole state of Rhode Island back to the Indians. So pull up the old rocker next to the radio on Thursday next, and come with us to the lawn party on the beautiful estate of Governor and Mrs. Vanderbilt of Rhode Island. All right, Parks, who won the money?
Virginia Richter wins with 2,000 feet. Yes, the answer is 3,028 feet. He went down. I hope you can join us next Thursday for Governor's party, you know. And meanwhile, pipe lovers, smoke Kentucky Club. Cigarette smokers, enjoy a mint cool julep. Good night and happy smoking.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
What's the best tobacco you ever smoked, Jim?
Oh, that's easy. Kentucky Club. And here comes Vox Pop with Parks Johnson and Wally Butterworth, broadcasting from... Quiet. The location must remain a secret, because around us here are some of the world's greatest private detectives. Vox Pop, you know, is dedicated to the grand and glorious order of pipe smokers. It comes to you every Thursday in honor of Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco, the smoother smoking, all-white burley blend, and julep cigarette, the new exciting cigarette that's frosted to give your throat a thrill. Tonight, you know, we're broadcasting from an official conclave of the William J. Burns International Detective Agency, the world's greatest association of private investigators. The greatest mystery stories of all, the true mystery stories, are the everyday work of these hawk-eyed super sleuths who are surrounding us right now. Their information sources cover the earth, India, Asia, Europe, Africa, South America, everywhere. Look out. There may be one behind you right now. Well, Parks and Wally have their peak caps and their magnifying glasses ready to Vox Pop the detective. Okay, Sherlock Johnson.
Roland, don't you think we ought to investigate the president of the outfit first? Come up here, sir. Mr. Raymond Burns, president of Burns. Mr. Burns, we're going to find out a lot of stuff, we hope, tonight from you folks.
All right, Mr. Johnson.
But before we go any farther, you get the first crack at our running question, which pays $5 to the fellow that gets nearest to it, plus a carton of julep cigarettes. Now, the running question tonight is this. What is the current yearly per capita consumption of cigarettes in the United States? That is, dividing the total number of cigarettes among the total population, what is the per capita consumption of cigarettes? Now, that's as fair for one of you as the other. Give us a figure on that.
That's a tough one.
It is tough.
50 billion, offhand.
No, per capita, I said, not the whole. Now, if it was 50 billion cigarettes and there's 130 million people, you divide it, you know, you can figure, can't you? Give me some figure that's within reason.
I'll have to take that under advisement.
Well, I'll ask you before the end of the interview. We'll
All
give
right.
you a little figure a little bit later.
Yes.
Now, Sherlock, Mr. Burns, I mean, would you say that crime pays?
Certainly does not.
Doesn't it pay, Burns?
It certainly does.
That's all right. Now, yours is an interesting sort of profession. For $1, in what profession does it pay to look down in the mouth? You know? Was later knighted.
What pirate was later knighted?
That's right, for $1.
Let's see, I think that was Sir Henry Morgan.
For $1, yeah, you are, sir. Boss is doing all right around here, folks. Your father, William J. Burns, founded this agency.
He did.
That was, 30,
Back
35
in
years ago,
1909.
Way back there. Now, what would you say is the biggest department in your agency, Mr.
Well, I'd say the General Investigating Department is about the largest department in our agency.
Investigating what? Everything?
Well, everything, all crime.
Well, the criminal, that takes in the criminal department.
That's it.
What is the necessary and essential qualifications, let's say, of a successful investigator? I know
well,
a lot of them.
Mr. Johnson, I'd say a pleasing personality and appearance.
Well, that's...
More than the average amount of imagination.
Uh-huh.
Wide knowledge of human nature. Versed in logic and deduction.
Yeah?
Education sufficient to prepare comprehensive reports.
Boy,
Abilities to grasp essential details in conducting an investigation. Quick at perception. Ability to describe accurately. And resourcefulness.
I don't think I'd ever be a good private detective. Does it have to be honest? You didn't read that in there. That's obvious.
Oh, absolutely.
That was obvious. It didn't have to read. You doing any sabotage work or fifth column business right now?
Yes, considerable.
That really has picked up quite a little bit?
Oh, yes. Especially in the last few months.
Did your agency have a lot of that kind of work in the last
Yes, we did.
Uh-huh. Well, now, Mr. Burns, your agency must have had some firsts. You were the first to do this, that, and the other. Can you think of anything that you were first at?
Yes, we were the first agency to ever operate a dictograph.
Is that so?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We were also the first agency to transmit a radio photo across the Atlantic.
Is that so?
To England.
That's enough. Those are two darn good firsts right there. Let me see if I can get rid of another couple of dollars here. Tell you what I'll do. I'll start off with $4. If you, I'm going to give you some clues here, and if you get the first clue, why, you get $4. If you don't, you go on to the next one, and it'll be $3, and so on. See?
Yeah.
Now listen carefully. It is a bird, and its colors are red, white, and blue. For $4, what is that bird?
I'd say that was a woodpecker.
Oh, that's $4. Yeah. Wait, I'll pay you in just a minute. There's one more set of clues. It's something that I unhesitatingly recommend to my friends. It's something that I hope every man listening will get a tin of this week. What is it?
I would say that's Kentucky Club.
Yes, sir. Your tin, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Burns. All right, Wally. Oh, wait a minute. Come back here. What's your answer on that running question? How many cigarettes? Give me some figure. Right quick. Name something. Right quick.
Oh, I'd say 100.
100 for Mr. Burns. Put it down. Okay. All right, Wally. Okay, Parks, will you step right up here, sir? And tell us, first of all, your name.
George Brown,
Mr. Brown, what department of the Burns Detective Agency are you in?
Bank Messenger Division.
Aha. Well, first of all, I want you to take your guess as to the yearly current per capita consumption of cigarettes in this country.
The yearly?
Consumption per person. How many cigarettes does the average guy smoke a year?
Well, I'd estimate about 3,000.
3,000? Put that down, please, for Mr. Brown. Now, Mr. Brown, for a $1 bill, there are two types of artists. One is a very honest artist, and the other is a very dishonest artist. And they're both very adept and expert at extracting articles from clothing. What are they?
Better keep my hand in my pocketbook to start with, I guess. Well, a pickpocket is one.
He's the dishonest one. Now, who's the honest guy?
Any magicians here?
Hey, magicians. That's very good. Very good. The lady said a dry cleaner, but that didn't fit. Take the dollar. That's your $1 bill.
Can I give this to Red Cross?
You certainly may.
Will you do that?
I want you to do it.
All right.
Wait till you get some more. Now, what officer who is elected to office has the power of making arrests? He's elected by the people.
Not appointed.
Not appointed.
Sheriff.
Sheriff is right. He has authority to make an arrest. You're doing pretty well here. Now, you say that you're in the, what is this division you're
Bank
in?
Messenger Division.
You're in charge of the armored cars, I take it, huh?
Well, we don't use an armored car.
You don't?
No, sir.
Well, how do you deliver money to a bank?
Well, this is a new operation, and the only type of its kind in the United States. And we deliver money and securities and valuables
without an armored car and a machine
sir.
gun? I'm going to look for you some of these
sir.
days. Well, tell us.
No, you won't look for it.
I won't?
No.
Well, I won't.
I'll tell you why.
Uh-huh.
Our men are armed and equipped with a trace alarm messenger bag.
What's that?
Well, that's a very intense alarm equipment that hundreds of banks and others have been successfully using for years, and the Burns Detective Agency have adapted it to a messenger service.
Well, now tell us a little more how it works, actually. What to do? I mean, does it sound an alarm or what?
This equipment is taken from a messenger. It sets up an audible alarm and creates a situation that hold-up men can't cope with.
What is that, for example?
Well, to start with, it'll discharge heavy reports like a .45 caliber gun.
Start shooting at you, the bag down? Go right ahead.
It virtually explodes in the hands of a crook.
Yeah.
To the extent that in actual hold-up experience, they've dropped the bags and fled. They can't stay with it.
They can't?
No. Yet no harm will come to the contents.
Well, my goodness.
And under messenger deliveries of that type, the insurance companies prefer it. Because of its continuous protection.
In place of the armored car,
to other methods of delivery. And that service is now available to the public in New York and will later be available in other cities in the United States.
That's very good.
I don't want
to have anything to do with you. You handle this exclusively.
Yes, sir.
Any bags that start shooting at me, I don't mind a cop once in a while, but that's too much.
Now, of course, our men are armed and equipped just for the adequate protection of guards wherever necessary are added to the bag protection. So it's a very comprehensive method of transporting money and a very economical one.
Okay, all right, just a moment. We've heard that before. Right. Now, Mr. Brown, do you believe in the old adage of set a thief to catch a thief?
No.
Well, you don't say it very definitely. I mean, do you think Mr. Burns has hired a lot of thieves here to go out and catch thieves?
No.
Huh?
No, but I think a thief would have an awful tough proposition as proven by experience with one of these bags.
Oh, all right. All right, now for just one, I want to give you a chance to make another $1 here. What kind of a pipe did Sherlock Holmes smoke? What type of pipe?
Well, he smoked a corn cob.
He did not. He smoked a meerschaum, and the reason he solved so many successful cases was because he used Kentucky Club in it, and there's a tin for you. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. All right,
You know, yesterday afternoon, Wally, I was standing in front of a tobacco store looking in the window at a grand display of pipes. A young fellow standing next to me, he said, every time I see a display like that, I have an urge to go in and buy a pipe. But I'll be doggone if I've been able to find a tobacco that I can smoke in the pipe after I get it. So I introduced myself, and I got him a tin of Kentucky Club tobacco. And by golly, he bought himself a pipe right then and there, and he tried it. I told him if he didn't enjoy it, I'd pay for the pipe myself. No cost to him. Well, he filled the pipe, he lighted it up, and took 5 or 6 long puffs before he said a word. Then he looked over at me and he grinned and he said, Parks, you win. That's the first tobacco I ever found that really had a light flavor. Now, there you have it. Kentucky Club is light and mild. It can't help but be, since every bit of the tobacco in the blend is mild white burley. That's why thousands of men are smoking pipes today who never could smoke them before. Today, any man can enjoy a pipe. Be sure to insist on good old Kentucky Club. The burley is white, so it can't bite.
Every tin and every big humidor canister of Kentucky Club contains dividends to help you get your fine Willoughby Taylor pipe, made of genuine imported briar with a single-unit filter, cooler, and reamer. Vox Pop, you know, is the voice of the people. Kentucky Club is the choice of the people. Okay, Park.
Yes, sir. You know, last week we thought we was going to have to interview all these gentlemen by numbers, but we finally prevailed on the bosses to let them call them by name, so your name?
My name is H.A. Crow.
Mr. Crow, with the Burns Agency. What department?
I manage the criminal division.
Criminal division? Well, I'll try to get by you. Give me your guess as to the per capita consumption of cigarettes in the U.S.
Oh, my guess would be 150 billion.
Per capita, not total consumption.
Per capita?
Yeah.
Oh.
How many is that for each of the 130 million
3,600.
3,600 for Mr. Crow. Mr. Crow, criminal division, eh? Well. You ever do any stealing yourself?
Oh, yes. I used to steal a little sugar from my mama.
Yeah, all like that. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $1 right now if you'll mention 3 things that you can steal and not be punished for it. Perfectly all right.
Well,
come on, 3 for $1.
I'd say you can steal a nap, and you can steal time off of your boss to go to picture show.
What is that person? Steal a nap? Steal a nap.
Sleep, you know.
Steal time off from the boss?
Yeah, to go to picture show.
Yeah, the boss right out here.
It has been done.
All right, go ahead.
And, how many do I have to have?
That's 2. You got to get another. Did you think of another right quick?
No, you got me a little confused here.
Wally gave you that. You heard that. Steal a kiss, but that's all right.
Get the dollar anyhow.
Yeah, that was the most obvious one. I'm surprised. You're married, I take it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'll tell you, here's another $1 if you'll tell me what it is that a fireman eats. Now, get this. A fireman eats it. It gets in your eyes, and Joe Wood and Walter Johnson had plenty of it. For $1. What is it?
I think you got me there. I don't know.
Now, listen again.
Walter Johnson.
Joe Wood and Walter Johnson were speedball pitchers. Baseball pitchers, don't you know? Fast pitchers.
Smoke?
Smoke is right. By George, every baseball fan in the crowd got that a long time ahead. I'll tell you, here's another $1. If you tell me one way from in which you can tell. Now, here's the finger on my hand. I'll take a finger off all by itself. You can't see my hand. You can just see the finger, see?
Yes.
Tell me one way in which you could tell to which hand that belonged, right or left. You know? Any idea?
Only by fingerprints.
Only by fingerprints, huh? Well, they tell me that the hair on your finger grows toward the little finger. That's one way you can tell it. Let's get on to the criminal department for just a minute. What are the various things that are handled in the criminal department?
Well, I handle a lot of things in the criminal department. I handle all investigations, or supervise all investigations for the American Bankers Association, also for the American Hotel Association.
Yeah? You keep a rogues gallery around your place?
Oh, yes, we have more than 18,000 photographs on file.
Mm-hmm. You know many of them yourself? I mean...
Quite a few.
Well, the boss of the department ought to know, oughtn't it? How about, do you check up on forgeries?
We handle all forgeries that are committed against member banks, members of the American Bankers Association.
Is it true that you also have a file of handwriting
Oh, yes,
samples?
we have more than 60,000 different specimens of handwriting of forgers and checked men of all classes.
That's a pretty hard thing to check those fellows. They tell me they hop around pretty fast, don't they?
Oh, yes, they do, but we carry a modus operandi file, and we can tell by a man's method of operation practically who he is. Then we find his writing in our files and identify him.
I bet you can almost tell which train he's going to catch next and which way it's going.
Well, a lot of times we catch him on the train, pull him off.
Tell me this, are fingerprints of identical twins, are those fingerprints identical, would you say?
No, not only of twins, but there's no identical fingerprints of two different people.
Is there any way in the world that I can destroy my fingerprints?
Sure, you can cut your fingers off and throw them in the river. That's the only way.
Outside of that, I wouldn't have a chance, would I?
No, sir.
All right, for a quick set of clues here. $4 for the first one. This fellow is a character in fiction, see? He once broke up a band of thieves, and he had a slave girl named Morgiana. $4 if you get it up to that point. Got it?
I can't.
All right, let's get another. He discovered a cave where the robbers kept their loot. He got in and took the treasure away. Any inkling yet?
I do not read detective fiction.
This isn't detective fiction. This is old, good old stuff. Now, the robbers hid in large jars in this guy's courtyard, you see. But Morgiana, the slave girl, poured hot oil on them, don't you see, and killed them all. And the way the guy got in the cave, he said, "Open sesame." You know who he was?
No, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you who that guy was. That was Alibaba. Now, one thing more. What do you deduce from these three words? And it's worth $1 to me if you can deduce it. A man, a match, and a pipe. What do
you
deduce?
need some smoking tobacco.
Yes, sir. That's worth $1. Here's your $1, and I'll furnish the smoking tobacco. You'll attend a good old Kentucky club. Thank you very much, Mr. Crow. All right, Wally.
Thank you, Park. Well, now, here comes another Mr. Burns. Mr. Sherman Burns, and what are you, Vice President, Mr.?
No, I'm Secretary and Treasurer.
Secretary and Treasurer. Nice indeed to be with you, sir. Take your guess, first of all, as to what is the current yearly per capita consumption of cigarettes in the country.
Well, I guess my guess would be as good as any other, about 1,200.
1,200. All right, maybe pretty good guess. I wouldn't know. You know, Mr. Burns, your father was a very eminent man. William J. Burns, as the head of the Department of Justice, wasn't he?
That's right.
This is not worth $1 because I think you know, but I think the folks listening would like to know. For no dollar, what was the name of his assistant?
Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover was Mr. Burns' assistant. That's right. Now, for $1, what have snowflakes and fingerprints in common?
No two alike.
No two alike, and you win the $1. That is absolutely right, sir. By the way, how do you feel about this fingerprinting of aliens, this new law?
Well, I think it's a very good thing. I think that everybody should be fingerprinted, as a matter of fact.
For their own safety.
For their own safety.
I think so, too. I agree with you, and I think many folks listening will. Now, how many men and women operatives have you in your agency, Mr. Burns?
Oh, we wouldn't mention that. We wouldn't disclose anything like that.
You don't?
No.
Big, deep, dark
That's
secret.
a big, deep, dark secret.
In other words, you can't ever tell when one's in back of you.
That's right.
What is the most important phase of your business?
The most important phase?
Yes.
Well, our business is general, and the best way to answer that, I guess, is to give you the various
tell me
departments.
what you do,
yes.
the various departments, yes.
Well, I imagine that the most work we do is in a general way. That's general investigations for all insurance companies, railroads, and so on.
Do you hunt missing persons?
Oh, yes.
You do.
That's a good part of our business.
You find them, huh?
Most times.
Most times you do.
Mm-hmm. Once in a while we slip.
Where do you recruit your operatives from?
That's something I won't tell you.
You won't tell us that?
No.
Where? Do you train them?
Oh, yes, we train them ourselves.
How do you cooperate with police departments?
Oh, we cooperate 100%. We always get good service out of them, and they're always willing to cooperate with us.
Mm-hmm. Well, now for $1, what fictional detective comes from the Hawaiian Islands?
Charlie Chan.
Charlie Chan is right. Here's $1. What radio program deals altogether with law enforcement? Modern law enforcement.
Well, now, my son follows a radio program more than I do.
Where is he?
Answer that question.
Is this the...
That's my son.
This the fourth...
That's the fourth generation in the business.
Well, Jack, stand up here and tell us. What college do you go to?
Stanford University.
Uh-huh. Well, you ought to know that now if you listen to the radio. What is it? For $1.
Gangbusters.
Well, get out of here and take the $1. Of course, that's right. Well, now I'll tell you what we do on this program, Miss Burns. We specialize in the enforcement of smoking comfort. And the best way I know to get them is with a Mint Cool Julep cigarette. A package for you, sir?
Thank you very much.
Come in, Park.
Yes, sir, Wally. You know, this spotlight business we started all over again last week sort of clicked. And tonight, our spotlight is a freak of nature that still puzzles scientists. 4 miles east of Clouders Fort, down in Pennsylvania, is an ice mine in a cave in a hill. Now, here's the freakish thing about it. Huge icicles, 10, 15, and 20 feet long, are formed in this ice mine in the summertime. But in the wintertime, it all melts. Yes, sir, the temperature is right chilly down in Clouders Fort, Pennsylvania, in the summertime. Now, that ice mine, really, you have ice in the summer, and it melts in the wintertime. I think that's quite a little spot. And by the way, if you know of something in your own community that's odd, unusual, or interesting, and if you should happen to send it to us, and if we should just happen to use it, why, we'd sort of expect to express our appreciation, you know. It isn't a contest, but just send it along to Vox Pop, CBS in New York. Now we have Mr. H.E. Corley. Is that right, Mr. Corley?
Correct.
What's your department?
The Uniform Patrol and Guard Department.
I see. Your guess right quick is per capita consumption of cigarettes.
Well, if the average cigarette smoker smokes as many Juul cigarettes as I do every day, I'd say 7,600 a year.
Atta boy. Okay. Now tell me, Mr. Corley, if a pickpocket picks a pocket that's empty, is he guilty of picking a pocket?
He is guilty of the attempt.
Well, I guess that's about right. Now, for $1, tell me 3 things that you can pick that will get you into trouble.
Well, you can pick a pocket, you can pick a lot,
Yeah?
or you can pick another fellow's girl.
There's your $1. Yeah, that probably would. Now, for another $1, who was a public enemy? He operated in the Southwest and the Midwest, and he had a girlfriend who smoked cigars.
Oh, you mean Babyface Nelson?
Was that Nelson or Dillinger?
Dillinger.
You don't get $1. That doesn't come in your department, though, does it, mister? Huh? No. That doesn't come in your... All right, now, 3 of our presidents were assassinated, see? You tell me 2 of the assassins. You get another $1.
Casales or Gonzalez, he killed McKinley.
No, you're talking about Zargars.
Zargars killed McKinley, and
That's right.
Booth assassinated Lincoln.
That's right. Here's your $1. Now, talking about your department, could I get a job in your department, Mr. Reagan?
Well, if you have a high school education, you're not more than 35 years of age, and you have a good clean...
Wait a minute. The age limit got me. What are some of the interesting things your boys have guarded?
Well, the most interesting things that I can think of right now is the $13 million Italian collection of art, which was displayed here in New York for a number of months.
Yeah.
The insurance company, before they'd covered it with insurance, insisted that the Burns guards be placed.
And you didn't lose a thing out there?
Not a thing. We never do.
What's an unusual... Attaboy. What's an unusual request that you might get to guard stuff?
Nothing would be unusual in the guard department.
But, I mean, you really get odd requests?
Very strange ones.
For instance?
Sometimes we're asked to escort a sick child, from a hospital to its home.
Things like that, huh?
Yes, which necessitates a railroad journey.
Uh-huh. Now, here's another set of clues, and this worth $1, too. What is it that's mild and smooth? It won't bite, and the ladies really love its aroma.
Why, of course, Kentucky Club.
Attaboy, your $1 in the good old Kentucky Club. Thank you very much, Wally. How about it? At this point, Sparks, I rise to advise the meeting. How come you'll get more enjoyment and better enjoyment out of mint-cooled julep cigarettes? Now, look. You can smoke 20, 30, 40, as many as you like, and still keep your mouth and throat feeling fresh, clean, cool, and comfortable. Golly, the way ordinary smokes used to dry out my mouth and throat and bring on that cough, many's the time I'd say, well, I've got to cut down on my cigarette smoking. Sound familiar to you, does it? Well, do as I did and change to julep. You give your throat a permanent vacation when you switch to mint-cooled julep cigarettes. Every day's a holiday thanks to mint. Yes, sir, it's the mint that does it. You see, mint is cool, clean, and fresh. So naturally, that touch of mint in julep is just the thing you need to help keep your mouth and throat feeling cool, clean, and fresh. Get a couple of packs of mint-cooled juleps, and you'll see in a flash, or rather in a puff, why physicians, nurses, and dentists were among the first to discover juleps. Julep cigarettes have the soundest cigarette idea in existence today. And now if you'll ask Mr. Bennett to step up here, Park. And while he's stepping up, let me say that was Clyde Barrow whose girlfriend smoked a cigar. Wasn't it, Ron? Come in, Mr. Bennett, now, and tell us your department in the Burns Agency.
I handle the market research department.
What's that got to do with the detective agency?
Well, Business likes evidence now. They employ us because we can get the evidence.
Well, tell me how it works.
Well, we go out and ask housewives questions of what they buy and why they buy them, and we ask men what kind of tires they like, what automobiles they drive, what cigars they smoke, and cigarettes, tobacco. And
I see. You could find out how many tulips people are liking to buy now.
We could do that, I think. And if we did and found out that we sold more on this program, we might get you a raise.
Well, that'd be swell. I'm in favor of that. Now, Mr. Bennett, take your guess as to the yearly per capita consumption of cigarettes in the country.
I'll say 4,000.
4,000. Okay, put that down. Now, for $1, name me 3 crooks of fiction. 3 crooks of fiction? 3 very heavy, big crooks in fiction.
Wallingford. What is that fellow?
Get rich quick, Wallingford?
Get rich quick, Wallingford.
Okay, go ahead.
Was it Oliver Twist?
Oh, blow me down, he would. Who else? One more.
One more? Oh, Robin Hood.
Okay, we'll call Robin Hood a crook. He crooked, and then he gave it back again. You'll certainly get the
$1.
back again? No, sir. I say he used to steal it, and then he'd give it back, you see, to the poor. Now, 2 out of 3 on this. What famous jail is suggested by a graveyard? The local jail.
The Tombs.
The Tombs, of course. What one by a big rock?
Alcatraz.
That's right. And what one by Pigeon English? Chinese Pigeon English.
Sing Sing.
Sing Sing. Here's $1. Thank you very much. You're doing pretty well, aren't you? Now, better look out for this one, though. They tell me that there's only one sport which is barred at Sing Sing. I'll give you $1 if you can tell me what it is.
One sport is barred at Sing Sing.
So is it a marathon?
Gambling.
Oh, well, no, that's not a sport.
Oh, not.
Well, I mean, no, not a Sing Sing. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's pole vaulting. Now, do you think there'd be any special reason for disallowing that? What part of the body is used in describing the power of the law?
Power of the law?
Yes, sir.
The strong arm.
The strong arm of the... Mr. Bennett, do you think it's possible to tell a crook by looking at him?
Scientists tell us. I happen to know a man, Ernest Hoover of Harvard.
Yes.
Says there is no criminal type. That lets me out.
That lets me out. All right. Now, in what prison were the following characters thrown? If you get one of 2 of this, you get $1. Charles first.
Charles first. Whitehall.
Right. There's $1. Now, what is the strongest prison known to man? Last question.
Strongest prison known to man.
Well, it's a woman's arm. Don't worry. Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. And, Park, who won that $5?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute, but first let me talk about next week. Friends, next Thursday, Vox Pop is going to crash a party to be given by 3 famous personalities. The one and only Helen Hayes, the famous playwright S.N. Berman, and the equally famous theatrical producer Gilbert Miller. If you want to meet the who's who of the theater and Broadway, be sure to be with us at this outstanding event. The party will be held on the stage of the Henry Miller Theater in New York City and is being given to wish bon voyage to the new Greater Stage magazine, which will be on the newsstands in a few weeks. We look forward to a lively time that week with maybe Al Jolson, Martha Ray Olson, and Johnson and others. Now let's see who won. Sherman Burns is the winner with an estimate of $1,200. The correct answer is $1,314. Folks, you can be with us next Thursday, for that big theater party. And meanwhile, pipe lovers, smoke Kentucky Club. Cigarette smokers, enjoy your mint cool julep. Good night and happy smoking.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.